Hello, Español 3. Bien, today we're going to talk about el imperfecto, one of the two past tenses in Spanish. There are two types of verb endings in the imperfect. We have our habas for AR verbs, which you can see right here. Notice the accent in the nosotros. An example of that would be a verb like hablar. We have hablaba, hablabas, hablaba, hablábamos, hablabais, and hablaban. Sounds kind of funny, I know, but we are over that. We also have endings for ER and IR verbs, which, if you notice, all have accents. So you'll notice that there are tons of accents in these ones for IR and ER verbs, examples being comer and vivir. These would be our ERs. The irregulars of the imperfect, there are only three irregulars. That's the good news. Ser, which is almost always irregular, ir, and ver. Ser turns to era, which, as you can see, we have era, eras, era. Notice the accent in éramos, erais, and eran. Ir changes to iba. Again, we have our nosotros with íbamos. And ver, you'll notice, has accents in all the forms. Now, ver doesn't really look that irregular when you look at it, but with ver, if we were to take off that ER ending, then we would only be left with the V. So in order to keep it sounding the same, they keep that E and they add the IR endings. The imperfect tense translates to was or were plus ing. For example, yo miraba la televisión cuando mi madre llamó por teléfono. I was watching TV when my mother called me on the phone. There's our was or were plus ing. It can mean used to, which we use for repeated actions in the past, such as yo viajaba a México para visitar a mis abuelos en los veranos. So I used to travel to Mexico to visit my grandparents in the summers. Gives us the idea that it was something that happened over and over again. We can also use the imperfect to talk about what was going on at a certain time in the past. It often talks about what was happening in the background. So there's no action, it's just all description. Cuando yo era joven, when I was young, vivía en una ciudad muy grande. I used to live in a big city. Todas las semanas, mis padres y yo íbamos al centro comercial. Every week, my parents and I went to the mall. Repeated action. Some phrases that you can use with the imperfect. We have our de niño or de niña, whichever one works for you. Cuando era niño or cuando era niña. And so I gave you some examples. I said, de niña vivía en una afuera de Minneapolis. I lived in a suburb of Minneapolis. Todos los días, which is every day. So todos los días iba a la casa de mi abuela. Every day I used to go to my grandma's house. Then we have mientras and siempre, and those are in the same sentence. Siempre escuchaba música mientras corría en el parque. Please use this section to practice writing a sentence using the imperfect. So you're going to take the phrase tener miedo de los monstruos, llorar todo el tiempo, siempre hacer su cama, ser muy travieso o traviesa, romper los juguetes, comer muchos dulces, and creer en fantasmas. So make sure that you give a person's name, that you conjugate the verb correctly for those people, and that you finish with the rest of the sentence. Please make sure that you take these on your notes. Thank you.